From the Home Slice News Center, this is the Daily Slice for Friday, December 15th, 2023. I'm D. Ray Knight. This is what's going on. Law enforcement in Pennington County are working to address a rise in retail theft. From January to November of this year, Rapid City Police have seen a 16% increase in theft reports compared to last year. The police department is teaming up with the Sheriff's Office and the Pennington County State's Attorney's Office to better identify, arrest, and prosecute criminals. The RCPD also has several ways to report thefts, including filing a report online. A fire has destroyed a beloved local restaurant. Amy Rose has more.
An iconic dining establishment was destroyed by an overnight fire Wednesday. Fire crews from Lawrence and Pennington counties were sent to the Sugar Shack off Highway 385 near Silver City just before 11 o'clock p.m. Wednesday night. First arriving crews reported the structure was already heavily involved. Fire crews worked through the night to battle the blaze and keep it from spreading to the surrounding forest and any neighboring structures. No injuries were reported, and the state fire marshal's office will be on site to investigate the fire's cause.
One person died Wednesday evening in a car versus pedestrian crash in Deadwood. The names of the persons involved have not been released pending notification of family members. The pedestrian was in a crosswalk attempting to cross Highway 14A at a Main Street intersection when he was struck by an SUV. The 38-year-old male pedestrian was transported via life flight to Monument Hospital, where he later died. Speed and alcohol appear to be factors in the crash, and the Highway Patrol says charges are pending. In news from the nation and the world, a top U.S. envoy says the United States agrees with Israel that the fight against Hamas will take months, but officials are discussing the timetable for scaling back from high-intensity combat to more precise ways of targeting the militant group's leaders. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan spoke Friday with Israeli officials amid growing American unease about the mounting death toll in Gaza. He met with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas later in the day about the besieged enclave's post-war future. Russian leader Vladimir Putin says there will be no peace in Ukraine until his goals are met. Amy Rose has the details.
Emboldened by battled gains and flagging Western support for Ukraine, a relaxed and confident President Vladimir Putin says there will be no peace until Moscow achieves its goals, which he says are unchanged after nearly 2 years of fighting. He spoke Thursday at a year-end news conference that gave him an opportunity to reinforce his authority as he runs for re-election in March after nearly 24 years in power. Giving rare detail on what Moscow calls its special military operation, Putin dismissed the need for a second wave of mobilization of reservists that proved deeply unpopular before. He said there are some 617,000 Russian soldiers currently in Ukraine, including around 244,000 troops called up to fight alongside professional forces.
The House has passed a defense policy bill that authorizes the biggest pay raise for troops in more than 2 decades. Supporters overcame objections from some conservatives concerned it didn't do enough on cultural issues, such as restricting the Pentagon's diversity initiatives and gender-affirming health care for transgendered service members. The Senate had already overwhelmingly passed the bill on Wednesday, so now it goes to President Joe Biden's desk to be signed into law. One of the most divisive aspects of the bill is a short-term extension of a surveillance program aimed at preventing terrorism and catching spies. Opponents of the extension wanted changes designed to boost privacy protections for Americans. Your weather forecast from the Home Slice Weather Center. Partly cloudy and windy today with a high of 45. Low tonight, 20. Mostly sunny this weekend with highs in the low 50s. And that was your Daily Slice for Friday, December 15th, 2023. The Daily Slice is a production of Home Slice Media Group, hosted by D. Ray Knight with Amy Rose. Executive producer Mark Houston. Engineered by Chris Jaquess. I'm D. Ray Knight. Have a great weekend.